My story begins in the big city of Lagos with a dream to study abroad, the United States specifically.
As a first-generation college student from southern Minnesota, I have struggled with college affordability, textbook costs, and even transportation between academic success, falling behind, or even dropping out.
Both my parents were college educated, and there was never any question that I was going to college.
My parents were always big proponents of education. So when I finally got my chance to study abroad, I was shocked at how many people did not have access to higher education because of numerous barriers.
Before my first year of college, I didn't fill out my FAFSA until after I had graduated high school. After getting enrolled and receiving my financial aid package, including scholarships, I was still unable to afford costs of my tuition and I had to take out loans. Without these loans, I would have been forced to wait another year to attend school.
There was never a doubt that my family and I would be able to pay for me to go all the way through grad school. Only what jobs I could work and what costs I could cut to avoid debt. I had a 4.0 GPA throughout my first 2 years, won academic awards back to back. As I was graduating high school and starting college in earnest, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. I had to balance classes and taking care of her. I had no social life, no friends. I had no time for emotions, and I began to lose my memories of life before that dark present.
My very first real experience was when my psychology teacher asked me not to come into class until I could afford my textbook. I didn't know anybody that I could turn to, and so dejectedly I avoided class until I could buy a $100 textbook. Whenever I think about that story, I wonder how differently I would have done in that class if I didn't have to worry about my textbook and was allowed to participate. And I think about the many other students who might have been in my position as well and didn't persist, but instead decided college wasn't for them.
Along with the barriers to affordable college, I have experienced problems with transportation living in greater Minnesota, where there are a few options for transportation outside of your own personal vehicle. And for those living in greater Minnesota, reliable transportation can sometimes be the difference.
My mom died in July of 2018. I resumed classes a month later and got involved in student leadership, determined to drown my sorrow in service, but it doesn't work like that. My mental and physical health began to deteriorate. I lost many of my memories. I started having flashbacks. It didn't take long for me to figure out I had post-traumatic stress disorder on top of my lifelong battle with depression and anxiety. It did take me a very long time to do anything about it. I LeadMN because I know the pain of my loss. I know the weight of depression and the needling of anxiety.
I LeadMN because I don't want other first-generation students to ever have to face the same barriers that I faced from college.
I LeadMN because I believe education should be accessible to everybody.
And these are our stories. What's your story? Inspired by the Humans of New York project started by Brandon Stanton, Lead Minnesota is launching a Humans of LeadMN project where we showcase your stories. We wanted to create a similar project that highlights our students' unique stories and experiences. In our version of Humans of LeadMN, we will be collecting and highlighting our students' stories and posting them onto our Lead Minnesota website. Throughout the months of January, February, and March, we will also be launching our Humans of LeadMN Storytelling Workshop series. These 3 workshops will help us learn and understand the importance of storytelling and why it matters to share our stories. We each have a unique story of our experiences navigating through college, as you've heard from the other 3 and myself. And we hope to be able to share in order to learn from one another, to empathize, to heal, and to celebrate. Join us and participate in this workshop series to begin your storytelling journey.